Welcome back, friends. Oscar here, and it's time for another Great Ace Attorney. It's been a month since my last recording because I got sick and my throat got messed up the whole time. But now we're finally back, and we'll see if I remember my dang voices. So here we go. Enoch Trevor. We're in the process of trying to track somebody down. Oh? Yes, a man by the name of Enoch Trevor. He's the swindler who duped Professor Harebrain and the engineer who built the kinesis machine. A swindler and an engineer? Quite the modern man. He also seems to be a conjurer of sorts too, with considerable knowledge of stage magic. We really need to locate him before the trial resumes tomorrow morning. But we have so few clues to go on, that's the trouble. Do you have any good ideas? I have no data yet. It is a capital mistake to have good ideas before one has data. If I knew something of the man's appearance, at least, I may be in a better position to help. Yes, Trevor's appearance. Fortunately for you, however, presently I have little to occupy myself and little to fill my stomach. As soon as you find any clue, no matter how small, I should gladly give you my thoughts on it. Casim's death. Now here's a big one. Mr. Sholmes, did you lie to us? My dear Miss Naruhodo, stay that piercing stare. What is this about? Last winter, when we were first on our way to Britain aboard the steamship. Your words were very clear. So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. You told us that it was murder, and you examined Kazuma-sama's body. Indeed, and wherein lies the problem? We met him earlier today, the victim, Kazuma Asogi. You're quite sure? He was wearing some sort of mask, and was apparently suffering from amnesia. But yes, I'm quite sure. It was Kazuma-sama. You must have known at the time, Mr. Sholmes, that he wasn't actually dead. Well, I can only assume I was swept up in the murderous atmosphere of the moment. And the fellow wasn't dead at all! Priceless. I don't suppose that performance would pass muster, would it, Mr. Naruhodo? I could believe that the crewman present at the time made a mistake. But not you, Mr. Sholmes. I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. Please, Mr. Sholmes. Tomorrow in court, you will find yourself on the threshold of a very great mystery. For now, I'm afraid that is all I can say. What does that mean? Wrong thing. So we need to present him about Enoch Trevor, right? Well, we have a thing called a picture of the guy, so let's try that. Mr. Sholmes, would you cast your eyes over this photographic print? It's of Mr. Enoch Trevor. The face of the engineer we seek. Well, all Englishmen look broadly the same, of course. Looking at the photograph won't be particularly instructive. Are you alright, Mr. Sholmes? Ah, yes, forgive me. Very interesting this. Very interesting indeed. What's wrong, Mr. Sholmes? You've turned quite pale all of a sudden. I have a suggestion, Mr. Naruhodo. Will you indulge me? Oh, well, what is it? As I explained to you when you arrived, the missing waxwork has been returned, and I personally reinstalled it in the exhibit from which it was taken, behind those thick curtains. Oh yes, the Professor exhibit, isn't it? Would you like to see it, for a mere 5 shillings? That's a special one-time-only price, you understand. What? The opportunity won't come again, I might add. Wouldn't you like to see the fruits of my labor? Oh, well, we do have a rather pressing investigation to carry out. Perhaps we could postpone? The price is very reasonable. 5 shillings. I think you'll find it well worth it. Huh? Are you being quite serious, Mr. Schultz? Surely you need only look at my expression to ascertain if this is seriousness or silliness. I can never tell with you, that's the point. Very well. It couldn't hurt. Here's your 5 shillings. Gratefully received. So the special exhibit awaits up behind the curtain. I invite you to peruse it at your leisure. Ta! Well, the money's been spent, so let's go and see the special exhibit. Through those heavy curtains at last. Water break while this is loading. Although, did you notice that thing wasn't there a minute ago when Sholmes was talking? The one missing the arm? Move? Nope, I guess you just examine it and go in. 5 shillings we've had to pay. It doesn't seem right somehow that Mr. Sholmes slipped the money into his own pocket, does it? No. Ah, we could ask Gina to retrieve it for us, using her special skills. Pickpocketing police officers and diddling detectives. Is this what makes Britain great? Britain great? Is this what makes Britain great? Diddling detectives. That feels like a different meaning now compared to whatever he's going for here. Not to mention demigod prosecutors taking the law into their own hands or chip-loving inspectors. Inspector Gregson comes off rather well in that list, I think, with his unlimited chips. "23rd October, Madame Dispel's special exhibit." Okay. Oh dear, I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walked in here. Mrs. Soto! I say we turn on our heels and go straight home, via a really big confectionery. We certainly can't do that. We've already paid 5 shillings. True. Actually, now I'm looking a little more closely. We've paid good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. The nerve of the great diddling detective is far more terrifying than anything else in this place. This must be what Mr. Sholmes meant when he said the case was largely solved. Not completely, alright. Be that as it may, Mr. Sholmes heavily implied there'd be a clue about the engineer in here, didn't he? But where? Since we paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we? Yes, we will get what we paid for. Is that fear or frustration that's making Sasada-san's voice tremble? Alright, take a look around. Take a look at this dude. This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real. It seems to be a young man in a white overcoat. And he has a large shovel in his hand, too. Look. Perhaps we should investigate in a little more detail. Alright. Go with the shovel first. What a large shovel! He's holding it rather ominously, isn't he? What on earth was the man doing with a shovel in a graveyard in the middle of the night? Mrs. Sato? Yes? That's a spade, isn't it? No, it's a shovel. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. We've been through this, Miss Naruto. It's a shovel. No. Although, we haven't considered trowels. We've allowed ourselves to be distracted, I feel. Perhaps we should concentrate on what the man was doing with the implement. So we're going to bury the hatchet? You're right, though. What was the man doing in the graveyard in the first place? That's the real question. So this is their stepladder argument in this game? Oh, wow. There were other shovels, and I don't think we ever looked at them. Now I regret. Take a look at this lantern. That's quite a large lamp the man's carrying. Or is it a lantern? It's not unlike a Japanese Chochin paper lantern, actually, is it? Lamp, lantern, Chochin. The point is that it casts very little light to be walking alone in the graveyard at night with only this. Well, I certainly couldn't do it. I'm not sure I could visit a graveyard at all, even in broad daylight, to be honest. What's this here? Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle, so I believe it's probably a camera. A camera? But it's so small! British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what about Mr. Sholmes' skin prints? I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Sholmes' inventions as exceptions to the rule. But anyway, why would the man be in a graveyard at night with a camera? I wonder. Perhaps he was trying to capture the moment a dead body came back as a ghost on film? We'll just borrow this for a little while, I think. Wait, we're just taking the camera into court record? Okay. By looking at the photographic plate inside the camera, we can see what picture was taken. What's a photographic plate? It's a piece of glass coated in a special emulsion that reacts to the light coming in through the lens. If we open the cover at the back of the camera, we should find it. Let's have a look. You should see yourself, Mrs. Sato. Your eyes are shining. You really do like machinery, don't you? Oh, we can't look at it right now. Okay, look at that. I guess face? I get a good look at the face? There, right there. Up the nose. I can't see his face very well, can you? Perhaps if I just... Oh! Do you think you should be manhandling the exhibit, Miss Naruto? I'll put it back exactly as it was, don't worry. It's the guy! It's a guy! Ah! What on earth? How can... I don't believe it! A black monocle! Miss Naruto, is it possible that this man is... Yes! He even got the dang hair. It's Enoch Drebber! The color of his hair is different, but... It's unmistakably him! Indeed it is! Look who's back. Mr. Sholmes! This man is the subject of your present hunt, I believe. Yes, that's right. Just who is this man? Why is he here in this exhibit? And why does the convict behind him have no head? The head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it. What a surprise! So then the case isn't yet solved, is it? Did I not say so myself? Largely solved, were my words, I believe. But I must locate the missing head. Toot de suite. Toot de suite. Wait. When we Americans say toot sweet, are we... It's this, but we just... That's where this word comes from? But we don't say toot de suite. Because the original is toot de suite. Alright. We say toot sweet. Toot de suite. Toot de suite. Not toot sweet. Toot de suite. Toot de suite. As Madam would say, I'll be in grave trouble. A very hungry iris still awaits my return to Baker Street, preferably with rations. You know, though, something about this room is strange. Strange? What do you mean? Well, the display in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not? Indeed they are, Mr. Sato. Do go on. And, as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other exhibits are believable. But this one... This surely couldn't even really have happened, could it? I think it's time I educated you a little. About the nature of the incidents involving the professor 10 years ago. Converse. Resurrecting convict. I believe I told you a little about the professor yesterday, did I not? He took the lives of 5 victims, everyone being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound and had their throats ripped from their bodies. Oh gosh! An enormous hound? How awful! After taking the life of his 5th victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand. Accordingly, the professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. A closed court? To mean that the professor's identity... As you've surmised, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in a grave at Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair. Oh. The very night that he was buried, the convicted man came back to life. But came back to life? He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlit graveyard. The exhibit here depicts that very scene as described by the sole witness to those chilling events. There was a witness? But of course, my dear fellow, it was none other than... the young man in the white overcoat. Enoch Drebber. You saw it happen? The young witness. So this is a waxwork model of Enoch Drebber. 10 years ago, the convicted professor, having been gibbeted, garroted, I guess that means hung. The convicted professor, having been gibbeted and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. The sole witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old. It's so horrifying. Scared out of his wits, the young rebel ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. And the sheer terror of what he'd seen is said to have turned his hair white overnight. Yes, as shown in the photograph we have of him, his hair is completely white. For the following few days, the story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who'd come back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here at Madame de Spell's. I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly. What I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place. In a lonely graveyard in the middle of the night. Yes, what was he up to? Following the execution. The professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest levels of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. Yes, I can imagine the impact the case must have. Had. But in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, as preposterous parlor tale. But why did people stop believing it? Why? Simply because there was no resurrection to speak of, as was established in fact. What? What do you mean by no resurrection? The police investigated the grave in Lowgate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the execution. No! But that would mean Mr. Drebber must have lied to the police in the newspaper. That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The young man subsequently vanished from society, and nothing has been heard of him since. It's rather striking, then, that he should resurface now, don't you think? Now, of course, the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life. That's not possible. But Mr. Drebber's hair is unusually white, and if that really did happen overnight as a result of shock, it's hard to believe the incident was an out-and-out lie. Now what? Can I present anything? Oh, I didn't look at the camera yet. Let's take a look at the camera. What a wonderful machine. You really love contraptions like this, don't you? Oh yes. Anything mechanical I find absolutely irresistible. Almost irresistible, surely. Well, whenever I see a pocket watch, for example, I can't help myself. I simply have to take it apart. That's worrying. Yes. Father tells the time by the rumblings of his stomach now. He's given up having a watch. Poor Professor Mikatova. Oh look, the cover came open. Yes, now there should be a glass plate inside. You have to change the plate with each new photograph you want to take, you see. Is something wrong? There's no plate. It's been removed. Ah, what a pity. But I suppose if you think about it, this wouldn't be the actual camera that was used at the time, just like the waxwork isn't the actual person. So we'd never have found a photographic print of the executed convict coming back to life anyway. Oh, yes, you're quite right, of course. Of course, Asano-san. She looks devastated. Guess I don't need to look at the camera after all. Wait, there's blood on this. Look, Mr. Naruto. What is it? On the bellows just below... On the bellows just here, there seem to be some very dark red stains. Yes, you're right. It looks like blood, actually. Oh my. I'm sure it's not what you're thinking. Details, they're staining. Alright, is there anything else? I think that's it. Now, what do I do with this stain is the question. Present it to him and see what happens. I did that wrong. Camera. Mr. Sholmes, about this... As you will see, I'm rather busy at the moment. If it's advice you seek, come to my office tomorrow and I shall be happy to help you. Shall we say... Threepence per item as a consultant fee? That's 2 hours of gas, that is. Threepence is a weird word for money, isn't it? What do we do? What do we do? I guess look at the convict, huh? This must be the killer. A fiend known as the Professor. Yes, I think so. According to what Madame Dispel said, He killed 5 victims, all of noble royal blood. The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place. I know, it looks like it could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If only it had a head, that is. Perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. Oh, here we go. Here, we'll look at the 139, really. So this is the condemned man. Yes, the so-called professor. Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine. But unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost. Do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Mrs. Otto? Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. There's a metal fitting for it, I see. Then perhaps Mr. Shelms absentmindedly forgot to reattach it? That's an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it? Or perhaps the thief absent-mindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum. And that would be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Oh. There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. What? It looks like a piece of broken glass, and quite a big piece, too. It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than normal window glass. Glazing, I'd say. Where could such a thick piece of glass have come from, I wonder? I suppose it must have been made thick to increase its strength. But why? Well, perhaps because the glass had to span a particularly wide area. Such as in a big building, for example. Ah, well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? And some of the glass is broken too. You don't mean... Exactly. The Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition. But why would glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside this waxwork's jacket? Makes you think, doesn't it? Piece of broken glass has been added to the court record. Small fragment of very unusual and thick glass that was found in the folds of the clothing at the Professor Waxwork. It would appear to be from the Crystal Tower. Early in court, we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick. And now we discover this fragment of glass here in this waxwork? Is it just a coincidence? I think that's all there is to gain from this. Ah! Oh, Guinea! Yeah! What the bleeding no? What have you gone and done? Gina! What are you doing here? I asked Iris and she said this was where you'd be, so... Gina! Not so loud in the museum. Madame Dispels will have you take a position as a waxwork if you're not careful. I think there might be a more pressing concern. I still had some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so... Alright, Gina, we understand, but please, put down the gun. Sorry, I got scared. You should try being the one on the other end of the barrel. What brings you here, Gina? What brings me here? What do you think? We found it. We found that dodgy Cole's workshop. This voice has changed a little, by the way. What? You found Trevor's workshop? There is the doggy. Yep. Toby's nose took me straight there. The boss and the others are heading over there now in a jag, so come on. Here's the address. I got the bus to write it out. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once. Alright then, see you there. Not even trying to make it a girl voice, just make it an Irish, Scottish voice of whatever. Whichever way it goes. You go. Don't mind me. I'll just stay here, being still. What? I know my place, in the exhibit over there. Oh dear, someone is feeling sorry for himself. Because he didn't find the place, I guess? Let's go, Mr. Sholmes, you're coming. Your words heartened me, I must say. But if I were to shirk my duties here, Madam would have me pay monetary recompense, and Iris's dinner would be... Forget that! I'll pay for everything! Oh no! No, you didn't just say that! What was he saying? Dinner plate would be empty once more. Okay, there we go. But then there's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow. I shall hail a carriage at once. No offer to share the cost for Mr. Sholmes, then. I shall gladly pay half, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Mrs. Sato. Right, let's go. It's been an eventful half an hour so far. Jeez. Oh, snap, the machine. 23rd October, Enoch Drebber's workshop. This looks like... Oh, it's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. Indeed, it would appear so, though only a prototype, naturally. Ah, you got here then. Nina, well done for finding this place. And in such little time. You've really worked miracles. It's Tabia who's the miracle worker. Tail in her face. Cute little doggy. Woof! Ah, I thought your lot would show up before long. What's with his eyes? Is he allergic to dogs? Hello, Inspector. That's one knitted brow. He looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips. So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer? Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here. Oh, what a shame. Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us the chance to investigate. According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue that you lot turned up. I wouldn't want to say, go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid now, would I? Thank you. Anyway, if you happen to snoop around in here, I'd get cracking. Lord Von Zeeks and the forensic investigation team are on their way here as we speak. Them again. I imagine you've got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to lawyer types. Right. So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down whilst we have the chance. And you, Mr. Sholmes. Pardon? They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers. Very droll, Gregson, very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxworks model. What? A what? Right then, let's see what we can find in here. Now examine, like the arrows. This is... It's a European-style quiver of arrows, with steel bolts inside. Oh, don't you suppose? Do you suppose? Crossbow bolts, these. They're just the right size for the bow your lot turned up at the exhibition grounds. In other words... Yep, that's more evidence to support your theory. It all goes to show that Jebba was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam. Diesel's crossbow has been updated. Nice. Maybe this trophy? Ah, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? It's an impressive-looking back massager, that's for sure. Miranowski, what? I've no doubt that if you hit your shoulder a few times with that, your aches and pains would soon go away. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Oh! Would you like a massage? No, I'm fine, thank you. I had no idea it was such a grand thing. I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Mr. Enoch Trapper than conjuring tricks. I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Miss Naruto? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course. Haha, mean. He's not going to let that go, is he? It's curious, though, isn't it? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, not haphazardly cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite as mystery at times. Yeah, mystery. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times. The science trophy has been added into the court record. Okay, let's take a look at it. We can look up now. Court record. Let's examine the glass. This piece of glass is almost as thick as it is wide. Yes, I've never seen anything like it. If you were to compare it to a human, only Mr. Sholmes has such thick skin. There's really no need for such a comparison, Miss Naruto, as you all know. Anyway, it can only be from the Crystal Tower, surely. Yes, I think so too. It was probably made especially to meet the demands of that great structure. Now look at this trophy. Oops, wrong way. Examine. There's a little metal plaque here, look. Fostering burgeoning talent for the future of scientific discovery. It seems rather ironic, doesn't it? But clearly, Mr. Drebber really was a very talented scientist. Nothing special? Alright. I'm sorry, Miss Naruto. That machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. It'd be serious repercussions if you were to examine it, from the Crown and the government. Oh. Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow. No loose chains dropped on the floor or nothing. Not even a bone for Toby here, my dear fella. British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they? I think that's just these two, Mr. Sato. It's pretty funny. We can't convert. Okay, there's gotta be something we haven't seen. This door. And this plane. Let's see the plane first. The door might be something. What on earth is this? An area plane, Mr. Naruto. One day scientists believe it will allow humans to fly freely in the skies. Is that how the trick will be described, is it? Sorry? Well, it's actually suspended by a thin but very strong cable, isn't it? Oh, well, this model is... yes, but a real airplane would actually fly high in the sky. Well, suspended from somewhere even higher in the sky, of course. Because large metal objects obviously can't really stay in mid-air for unsupported. So to you, the solution is ever taller towers? Yes? Alright, door. This should be it. This door doesn't want to open. Yeah, looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it. There's a specialist locksmith on his way over from the yard, so hands off till he gets here. With permission, Inspector, I could have the lock open in less than a minute. Well, you don't have permission. And no one's given it to you. Gregson looked as though he really enjoyed that. Yeah, he does. Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side. No, Drebber must have fled at the first sign of danger. Thud, or not! Oh. Is something wrong, Mrs. Sato? Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina, did you hear it too? Yeah, I heard it, oh no. What do you reckon, Toby? Woo, woo. Right, mind the grease. Oh, shoot. Whoever's in there, open up. This is Scotland Yard. Clump, 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 clump. Oh, they left through a different door! Squeak, clunk. Oh my god! Oh my. Someone is in there. Ah, this rotten bleeding lock. My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago, if only it were countenanced, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Ah. Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Just get us through that blasted door. Click! There, you may enter at will. You confused minutes with seconds, I think. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are you waiting for? Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency. There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Yes. It's Sasato who's gonna do the takedown. What? But oh shit, there's a bomb! They left through the window. What? What's happening here? Why is everything upside down? Oh, yeah. Is it rotated? Was that the creaking sound? Rotation? That's... There ain't no one in here after all. But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard those noises. Maybe that was the sound of Drebber running away. But there's only one door into this room. And no windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high. But I see footprints. What's that up there? Are there footprints on the ceiling? Blow me? Blow me! Whatever you hear then? Blow me? Everyone ignoring the dynamite. Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry. Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints. To what? That Professor's harebrained bombing machine, is it? Blimey, if we'd had these, there'd been no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There's something of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of the pillar. A rope? What's significance about that? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Miss Naruhodo. Huh? We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation team arrive, too. Also, there's a bomb! Alright, save the game for now. This bomb's gonna probably take a bit to deal with. But that's it for now. What a way to come back. I had fun up here from watching. That's all Bowser having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time. A bomb!